Next, let's talk about some of the biggest threats to USA. Teams that have a legitimate chance at winning gold if it's not USA basketball. They just played against Canada. They have so many NBA guys, man. Like you talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lou Dort, Powell,
Dylan Brooks.
Yep, Dylan Brooks. Like so many guys on this team that are legitimate. Alexander Walker.
Yeah.
Yep, so many players that are solid, and they're lacking size, but they have a lot of guard play.
Right.
So you talk about Canada. We just talked about Serbia, what they bring to the table. Australia, a team that they just played yesterday. Right. Josh Giddey, Josh Green, Joe Ingles, Patty Mills.
Yeah.
Like these are good NBA rotation guys, man.
Right.
So, who is your biggest in your mind? Like who is that team that has a real chance to beat Team USA in the Olympics just because of the talent or the chemistry they bring to the table? Like who is your biggest threat in your mind?
Well, we've seen it before. I feel like Germany might have that chance to beat USA.
Yeah, I forgot about Germany.
Yeah, Germany, I feel like they're the sleeper. They're always a sleeper. You would never expect Germany to win the World Cup, how they did.
Yeah, they sure did.
And
they were
shocked
great.
the USA and they shocked the world. So I feel like Germany, in my opinion, can be the sleeper of this Olympics.
That's a great choice, man. Franz Wagner.
Yes, indeed.
Mo Wagner.
Yeah, for sure.
Schroeder.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Oh, my goodness. We just talked about players that seem like they hit another gear in international play.
Yes, indeed.
Dennis Schroeder, man.
I love Dennis Schroeder.
Turns up.
I'll be honest. I love Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah.
Like, the way he plays just at his own pace and his ability to go from slow to fast, fast to slow.
Yes.
To fast.
Yes.
Just unbelievable, bro. Like,
oh, my goodness. He's so shifty. Like
Yes,
you look at how he performs on the court, like, able to just break down defenders, have great touch. And, yeah, like you said, that change of pace is crazy, man.
Yes,
he goes from, like, literally 0 to 60 in a heartbeat.
No doubt.
So that's how he just absolutely destroys defenders.
For sure.
But, yeah, that's a great choice. Germany, as, like you said, the defending World Cup champions, they have a great chance to. And the other thing about these teams, aside from USA, they have chemistry. These guys play together every single time they go international. Unless someone's hurt, they're always together. It's the same team. USA switches out most of their team every time.
Which is not consistent, whether because of injuries, because of family, whatever it is. But that's why I say Germany, because their chemistry is like this. So they come together, they know how they are, like the back of their hand.
Big
and that's
time.
why I feel like it's very important. We're having that camaraderie with your teammates and on the court and off the court.
Yes, it's huge, man. Like that's a big part of basketball.
Yeah.
You could be as talented as you want to be, but if you don't have that cohesion, you're not going to do well.
No doubt.
We saw that in 2004, 20 years ago, USA team that plays in the Olympics, and they get bronze. That's a huge disappointment because they had such great names on that team. So the fact that they went in there and they got disappointed like that was really a tough blow. And from then, that's where we saw Team USA kind of like shift their priorities. So they didn't just focus on, getting all the best players. They focused on getting the Derek Whites and the Drew Holidays and the Tyrese Halliburtons. Those players they're not like in the top 20 of the NBA necessarily. But they're great teammates. They're great defenders. Like Team USA put a really huge importance on defenders. And then size. You mentioned size before. They're not going to get bullied or punked anymore. They're going to have the big guys that throw out there, and it's like, hey, we could put LeBron at the 4.
Yeah.
He's sturdy. We could put AD at the 5. We could put Bam at the 4 or the 5. Big difference in the way they construct their team these days.
And they will still be able to match up with their opponents because they know Europeans are pretty tall. So they're definitely. That's why I'm excited to see this. You know what I mean? Like this is probably the most exciting Olympic that I've watched that I'm going to be experiencing. So
it's going to be great, man. It's going to be huge for Team USA as a whole because they have this reputation of just being a gold medal team. When they go into the Olympics, it's like you almost just assume that they're going to have a performance like this. Like, hey, we're going to just roll over our opponents. They rolled over Canada. They had a tough time against Australia, but you would imagine, especially in the group that they're in, you have Puerto Rico in their group. You don't think they're going to be a huge problem for them?
I'm a little mad about Puerto Rico because they beat Mexico, so But
I feel that.
But Puerto Rico is a pretty good, well-structured team. Carlos Arroyo really put a great team. Him being the GM.
Carlos Arroyo, man, people sleep on him.
Oh man,
I remember I was following Carlos Arroyo when I first started watching basketball when I was 16.
Wow.
Miami Heat, the 2010, the Big Three Heat, and Carlos Arroyo was their point guard. So I have a huge respect for him. I have a huge respect for his game. He's a great basketball player.
His story is incredible. You know what I mean? Coming
Big
from where
time.
he come from and to made it where he made it to now being the GM of the Puerto Rico and putting that well-structured team. All my respects go out to Puerto Rico and Carlos Arroyo.
They couldn't have picked a better guy for the job.
Yes,
he just fits in perfectly. Like, he fits their culture. Like you said, he has a great story. So, like, he understands what it takes to kind of just grind and fight for your way in.
Yes.
And they feature guys like Jose Alvarado is another just great representative of Puerto Rico.
No doubt.
Alvarado had a huge performance against Italy in the qualifiers just to get to the Olympics.
Right.
I think he had 7 3-pointers.
Yes.
I mean, this man went ballistic, man.
Yeah, for
so,
sure. Yeah.
no, when I say, like, USA should roll over these teams, like, I mean no disrespect. I don't want to sit here and say that, like, these teams that are coming from other countries are pushovers. They don't have great talent. They 100% have great talent. It's just like USA is just there's such a high expectation for them and a high standard that you'd expect them to come out here and have a great performance against those other teams. But no disrespect to them, they're great. Puerto Rico, South Sudan is another one in their group.
Yeah.
Serbia is in their group as well.
I like South Sudan as well. I like South Sudan because they can play basketball, and I guess they just got independence not too long ago. So,
yeah.
So I mean, honestly, to what they are now in the basketball position, definitely they have a great future. So.
Huge, man. The world is really stepping up these past few years.
Yes, indeed.
This isn't 2008. No, this isn't 92 where it's like, okay, the average margin of victory is 30 points a game.
Right.
Don't think we're going to see that this year.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I feel like we're going to see overtimes and who's really in great conditioning shape because that's what it comes down to.
For sure.
Last minute.